Here's just a little example of how, as a leader or manager, handling a situation with a little bit of a different approach can make such a big difference to the people you're working with. I remember one time, this was a middle manager, and so he had a team he was responsible for, and then he had a leader he reported to. And it was a fairly new position. He went to his manager the one morning and he said, I've got to talk to you. I'm feeling extremely stressed and overwhelmed, and I don't know if I can handle everything on my plate right now. His manager's response was, listen, I believe in you. I know you can do this. I understand that you're overwhelmed, but you've got this. I believe in you. You wouldn't have been promoted if you couldn't handle it. So just get out there, do your job. Everything's going to go well. I have complete faith in you. That person left feeling completely unheard and depleted and defeated. If only, imagine how differently this person could have felt if the manager would have said this to him. Thank you for coming to me. I know it can't be easy to come and say you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed. Why don't you come and sit down in my office? Let's talk it through. I understand that your position, especially because it's fairly new, is overwhelming and there's so much on your plate. Have a seat. Let's talk it through. Let's figure out what you need from me and from your team members, the rest of the people in the office. Let's figure out what you need so you don't feel so stressed and overwhelmed. I do believe in you. It's common for people to get this feeling of stress and overwhelm in a new position, and I want to help you any way I can. So come and have a seat. Let's chat. Let's figure out what it is that you need. And I know together we can figure out some solutions to help you feel less overwhelmed. I know that the first response, that response of, I believe in you, you've got this, that wasn't wrong. It was a pep talk. And I know the person had great intentions. They wanted to make sure that their manager felt confident and that they believed in them, that they could solve any issue. But that is not what that manager needed. I'm glad the person believes in them, but what they needed was to be heard. What they needed was to feel valued. They just needed somebody to listen. It takes a lot of courage. You're vulnerable when you go to somebody and say, I need help. I feel overwhelmed. What you don't need in that moment is just somebody dismissing you with a little pep talk and sending you on your way. That isn't helpful. What you do need is somebody to just be there for you. Sometimes just talking it out for a few minutes is enough. Believe it or not, sometimes you don't even need a solution. You just needed to talk it through with somebody and feel not alone in that moment. So it isn't that they said the wrong thing to the person, it's that they didn't give them what they were really looking for. And what they were looking for was a good set of ears that just heard them. They needed somebody to be present for them and for somebody to just hear them out. As a leader, I know you're busy. I know your time is valuable. Your people have to matter enough that you know when to pause and sit with them. And if you can't do it in that moment, then say this: I hear you. I am sorry you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Come in for a second. I've got a meeting in the next 20 minutes and I don't want to rush through my time with you. Can we set up a time to sit down and talk, and we'll go over what you're feeling and what you're going through? So let's pick a time right now. That way you will have my undivided attention and we can work through what you're feeling right now. If you do that, they feel heard, they feel valued, they feel cared for. That's what matters.